Hello, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Auto Great Podcast. My name is Daniel Lugo. I'm your host, and today I have Stanley Bronstein. And today's going to be a wonderful episode. I think a lot of you will like. Please take out your notebooks or anything that you like to write on, because there's a lot of things that you can learn from this podcast, I'm from sure. So, Stanley, can you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Sure. My name's Stanley Bronstein. Um, my business career, I've been an attorney and a CPA, both of them. But as I've gone through life and my life experiences, I've become a life coach and an author. It's kind of grew out of my life experiences. So, talking about those, my story is a story of not taking care of my health when I was younger. My story is one of obesity. And when I say obesity, here's how bad. This 30 something years ago, I used to weigh 367 pounds, like you can see in the picture on the left. Today, I weigh around 145 pounds, like you see on the right. And I did it with no drugs, no surgeries. I did it by, first of all, getting my head on straight. You have to get your head on straight. That's 90% of any type of success you want in your life takes place between your ears. It really does. Having your head on straight is so important. And then I learned proper nutrition, because it's the food you put in your body, the fuel that you put in your body is very important. It's just like in your automobile. If you put bad fuel in your car's not going to run very well. If you put good fuel in your car is going to be a lot happier. It's going to run a lot better. And then I also did it by learning to exercise every day. And when I say exercising every day, I'm just talking about walking at a slow, easy pace. 20 minutes, 30 minutes a day of walking. That's all I'm talking about here. Now, I do a lot more than that, because that's what I've grown into, but you don't have to do that. What's important is when we go through this, we're going to talk about things I have learned over the years. Everything I'm going to share with you, I'm 66 years old right now, and I'm in better shape than I was when I was 35. And so what I'm going to share with you are things that I have learned over the years so that you don't make the same mistakes I made, so that you can learn things faster than I did, so that things can go more smoothly for you. Does that make sense, Daniel?
Oh, that makes a lot of sense. And, talking about the story coming from obesity to now being in the best shape of your life, can you please tell me if in that phase, were there any moments that you think you were at rock bottom that you didn't see the light of day?
Okay. No, I did not hit rock bottom. That was coming. Rock bottom was coming, but fortunately for me, I woke up before then. So that's lesson number one I want to share with anybody who's listening right now. You don't have to wait for rock bottom to wake up. You don't have to go there. Everything doesn't have to fall apart in order for you to wake up. You can do that before then. I'll tell you what happened with me. I was getting ready to turn 50 years old. This all happened 17 years ago. Almost exactly 17 years ago. February 1st, 2009. Today's February 12th when we're recording this. So I celebrated my 17th rebirthday 12 days ago. And I was 320 pounds. I was not my full 367. I was 320. And I hadn't had a heart attack yet. I had not had a stroke yet, but I have no doubt all those things were coming. I asked myself, like a lot of people do when you reach a milestone age, 30, 40, 50, 60, both men and women, when you reach a milestone age, you ask yourself, what have I done? Where am I going? What have I made out of my life? Well, as I was turning 50, I said, where am I going to be in 5 years if I keep doing what I'm doing? Would you care to guess what the answer was?
What was the answer?
Dead. And I did not like that answer. I decided that I did not want to be dead. So, as I like to say, I was committing slowicide. I was slowly eating myself to death. So I said, okay, time to make some changes. So I turned to my wife and I said, I'm cooked. I'm done. See, I didn't hit rock bottom, but I was done. I was cooked. I reached the point where not only did I realize, I mean, that was not the first time I told myself I needed to lose weight and get in shape. I told myself that many times, but it was the first time I took permanent action on it. Because that's something I want to talk about real quickly. Temporary change is going to give you temporary results. Permanent change is going to give you permanent results. That's why so many people fail when they go on a diet, because they go on a diet for a month, 2 months, they lose weight, and then they go right back to their old bad habits. The weight comes back on plus more. You need permanent change, permanent positive change. But there's something you need to realize. We are all human beings. We are going to mess up. We are going to make mistakes. We're going to have good days. We're going to have bad days. Well, it's okay to make mistakes. Mistakes are proof that you're trying. The question is not, are you going to make mistakes? The question is, what are you going to do when you make a mistake? Are you going to quit? Are you going to beat yourself upside the head and say, I'm no good, I'm horrible, I'm worthless? Or are you going to say, I screwed up, I made a mistake, what can I learn from this? And then start doing better tomorrow. See, that's the whole trick. The whole trick is to, if you want to do anything in life, the whole trick is to get started and to never stop. Never. As they say in the movie Galaxy Quest, never give up, never surrender. Never give up. Get started, keep going, keep going. If you mess up, if you have a bad day, just keep going, keep going, keep going. And you know why that is? Because life is a long-term game. And the problem is we live in a short-term world. Everything is instant. You know, you get Uber, they'll be there in a minute. You want Amazon, they'll deliver it to you today or tomorrow. You want, Alexa, you got a question, ask Alexa, ask Siri. You whatever you want, you get it instantly. You got streaming, everything's streaming, on demand, this and that. And the problem is that has taught us to not be patient. So much of life, so much of the good things in life require time. It's just like when you put money in the bank. If you put money in the bank and you earn interest on that money and you leave it in the bank, over time it grows and it grows and it grows. Same thing happens when you start taking positive actions in your life today, tomorrow, next day, it compounds and it grows. See, the way I went from this picture on the left to the picture on the right, you have to realize I did not do that overnight. I am the person I am today. I'm now in year 18 of working every day to get better and better. So you can't compare yourself. If you're just starting out, you can't compare yourself to where I am today. I'm a creature, it's taken me time to get here, but I'm going to make this simple for you. You have one goal. Your goal is to beat yesterday. That's it. Wherever you're at today, you want to do better today than you did yesterday. You want to do better tomorrow than you were today, and keep going and keep going and keep going. But you have to realize you're not going to always do that. Some days you're going to have good days. Some days you're going to have bad days. But as long as you keep going and you never stop, that is beating yesterday. That is doing good because the old you, I know the old me would quit. And if you don't quit and you keep going, that is beating the old you. That is beating yesterday. So that's all you want to do is just get better and better and better. You're playing a long-term game here. When we talk, I'm going to tell people how to go to my website. On the website, I have 9 of my books are all available for free. You can download them for free. There's no catch to it. They're there because I want to help people. One of the books I recommend to people, it's called The Law of the Long Term. It talks about how life is a long-term game and, how you can grow things over time. But does all this make sense that I'm talking about, Daniel?
No, it all makes sense. There are many good things that you just said, and one of them is that temporary changes, temporary results, permanent change is permanent results, and people sometimes mistake this. Yeah, that's right. So people sometimes mistake that they have to take such a big step at first. No, that's impossible to do. If you're gonna say I'm gonna go to the gym 6 times out of 7 days, that's probably not gonna happen. You need to start first with three, maybe two, three, then four, then five, then six, and then you arrive there. And then for some people, they stay at four, and that works for them. But then you have to work every single day in order to prove that you can do it. If you change your diet and you say, I'm not gonna eat bread for the rest of my life, wait a second. You know, I don't know about you, but I'm a big
Just
fan
so
of
you
bread.
know, I said that I don't eat bread and I'm not going to do it for the rest of my life. But anyway, go ahead. But that's me. That's not what I tell people to do. That's what I have become. Anyway, go ahead.
No, you're good. I tell people that if they want to go down in weight, go ahead. Don't eat bread. Bread is not going to help you if you want to reduce weight. That is something. But what I want to say is you want to eliminate little by little. Right? You don't want to take that big step forward because not all of us have that ability to say I'm gonna quit this today. I have that ability too. I have that ability. I'm not gonna eat this for the rest of my life, and now I'm not gonna eat it, right? But you have to think ahead. You cannot be putting yourself at bigger risk at the beginning, right? Because if you see an escape, you're gonna see an escape and take it. That's gonna happen for sure. So you have to take small steps forward for you. If that is including reducing your calorie intake, I think we can talk to this more
We're
about it.
going to talk about it's not even so much calorie intake as it is improving the quality of your intake. We're going to
Of
talk a
course,
lot.
that too,
Yeah.
that too.
Let
But
me ask you a question
mhm,
before you keep going. I like where you're going, but how do you move a mountain?
you're gonna move it.
You move a mountain one stone at a time.
Uh, yeah,
That
makes
that's how
sense.
you if you want to get in shape, you do it one stone at a time, one pebble at a time, one little rock, one step at a time. See, remember, it's what I said, long term.
Long term.
Life is a long-term game. You have the rest of your hopefully very long, hopefully very happy, hopefully very healthy life.
Yeah, and you also have to do the things that you enjoy. Because
Yes.
if you don't enjoy running around every single day, you're not gonna keep at it. But if you love lifting weights, you're gonna go at it because it's gonna be part of your day. And if you go without it, it's gonna feel empty.
Yes.
Like that part of you is missing. But you have to like it. If you don't like it, it doesn't work. It's not like gonna continue working. And for people that are trying to lose weight, and I lost weight myself, I was 215 if I'm not wrong. I came down to 175. Then with
Wow.
my surgery,
Good.
I went down onto 125. But I came back up and I was able to not only gain weight, good weight, but I was able to track it down again. So
Good.
I'm able to experience both sides. And I know there are people out there, my cousin is one of them, that they have something that they don't gain weight easily,
Yes.
right? He's pretty skinny. But I tell him, I know that experience. I know I can help you with it because I was very skinny after my surgery, but after eating and everything, I know the ins and out of what you need to do. That's why I wanted to talk about calorie intake, because it's not only about the quality of the food that you put in your mouth, it's also in your body. It's also the amount of food. Because if for example, I'm at 5'6", I'm 5'6".
I'm
If
five
I
seven.
eat,
5'7", so go ahead.
okay, so for us, if we want to stay at a normal weight, we have to be around, I will say 2,600, 2,700, around there, calorie intake a day, right? If you eat more, you are bound to gain weight, right? Because of your body and the chemistry and the biology of your body is, if you eat 2,600 or less, right, you're about to lose weight. If you eat 2,600 around, you're maintaining your body.
Okay, let me add something to that. I counsel a lot of people on weight loss. And what I have learned is that if you eat pretty much only quality food, the right foods, and you quit eating when you're full, counting calories is not as important because will, your body is constantly sending you messages about what food to eat, how much food to eat, when to quit eating. It's sending you the messages. The problem is we become disconnected from our bodies. We don't know how to listen to our bodies. And so, and we see commercials on TV, eat, 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 and eat. And the companies make all these foods for us that are loaded with salt and sugar, added salt and added sugar. And it just makes us want to eat more and more and more. And we keep eating it. And the companies, they tell us that all this is good food. Well, it might taste good, but it's not good food, um, kind of thing. So I mean, yes, calories is important. You can't eat, you know, forever. You can't eat all day, and never stop and do well. But
I hope, but it doesn't
quality
happen.
is, yeah, but the quality is what's important. That's what I work with people on, is the quality. Can I tell you what I advocate for people?
Mhm.
Here's what I advocate for people. I advocate 4 things. We're going to go through these one at a time. 4 things to do. 1, eat less processed food and more natural foods. That's things like fruits, nuts, vegetables, grains, seeds, that type of thing. More whole food, not processed. Don't eat all your meals from Burger King, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, you know, Chipotle, whatever. Frozen pizzas. Don't That shouldn't be the only thing you eat. You I'm not telling people to never eat those things. I'm just saying don't eat them all the time. Eat less of it, less processed food. Then I tell people number 2, quit eating 4 or 5 hours before you go to bed. Now I know that I just saw your face. Okay. See, that's tough for a lot of people because when you eat before you go to sleep, there's a process called autophagy, AUTOPHAGY. It is where your body processes its food and it goes into a cleansing state where it is cleansing your cells. It takes your body 13, 14 to 15 hours of not having any food to get into that cleansing state. So if you sit there and you say you go to bed at 11 o'clock, and or you go to bed at 12 o'clock. You quit eating by 6 or 7. Quit eating at 7. Don't eat snacks at night. So you've got 5 hours there where you didn't eat. Then you sleep for another 6, 7 hours, and maybe 8. You sleep for whatever you eat. You've had 13, 14 hours without food. Your body has a chance to cleanse itself. Your body has a chance to process the food you've already eaten. Then you're in much better shape. Your cells are in better shape. You're much healthier. Your blood sugar is much better. Everything is much better. That's why I say that. My grandfather used to always tell me and my father, don't eat before you go to sleep. You're taking your food to bed with you. And we didn't listen to him. And the funny thing was, I wished he was here. I would tell him now he was right, but, I didn't listen to him back then. And then another thing I say, number 3, walk at least 20 minutes a day. See, now here's where I'm a little different than you. You said maybe you're not going to go to the gym every day. That's true. You might not, but walk 20 minutes a day somewhere. Find 20 minutes. If you're young, if you're able-bodied, you can find 20 minutes a day to walk, and you don't have to walk fast. I walk at 2.25 miles an hour. I don't walk fast at all, but I walk a lot. I walk a lot more than 20 minutes a day. But I'm telling you, all you have to do is 20 minutes a day. If you want to do more, do it. But that's all you have to do is 20 minutes. And you want to know something? If you will take the time to start a walking habit where you walk 20 minutes a day, you're going to meet some very interesting people. And you know who the most interesting person you're going to meet is while you're doing all that walking?
You.
Yourself. You. You're going to meet yourself. You're going to learn who you are. You're going to learn what you're all about. And then the other thing I say is set aside 15 minutes every day for yourself. Even 15 minutes. If you've got kids to take care of, if you've got parents you got to take care of, if you're busy working 2 or 3 jobs, I get all that. I understand that. But somewhere during the day, you can find 15 minutes for yourself. And how I recommend people when they're starting out, on my website, I have my system. It's all videos. And there's like 21, 22 videos. And they're all 8, 9, 10 minutes each on YouTube. So you sit there and you go through that. If you watch one of those a day during that 15 minutes, by the end of a month, you will have learned my whole system. My system, I call it the way of excellence. And we can talk about that in a minute. What it is, it's an operating system for how to be a human being. Think of it. It's like Windows 11, Mac OS, Android for how to be a human being. That's what it is. It's a manual. Nobody gives it to you. But see, these are all things I learned during my experience. When I told you I did a lot of thinking with myself and learning myself, I've always, in my business career, I've always been a systems thinker. People paid me a lot of money to take complicated things and make them simple. So what I did was, as I lost this weight, I said, what did I do here? And I figured out how to turn it into a system that people can use for anything, not just weight loss. My story is weight loss. Yours might be something totally different. But there were other things. When I started on my journey 17 years ago, I'll tell you the first 3 things I did. I'll tell you the first 4 things I did. First thing was I quit drinking alcohol. And I know, there's a movement, younger kids, a lot of them say, have a sober month, or whatever. Every time you want to drink alcohol, and believe me, I've drank more than my share of alcohol in my life. So I'm not a saint here. But when you're drinking alcohol, if you're smoking weed, if you're doing whatever, ask yourself, does this serve me? Or am I serving it? If it serves you, have that drink, smoke that weed, and enjoy it.
I think
If
I
it, if
think
it,
there's no, like, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I don't there's a time that it will serve you.
I don't think I agree with Daniel. I agree with you. I agree with you, but I'm just telling people, ask yourself that question, because when you tell people that question, they go, it opens up their mind. I agree with you. It never serves you. It doesn't. It might, in the short term, it might make you feel good. It might get rid of your anxiety. It might relax you in the short term. But in the long term, it has consequences. Me, I I was drinking too much. And I sat there and I said, no more. And I believe in symbolism. I took my last bottle of scotch. I opened up the toilet. I poured it down the toilet. I hit flush. It's gone. Then another thing I did, those 2-liter bottles of soda pop, I was drinking 3 of those a day. And those are horrible. And, and here I was, the ones I were drinking, they were diet caffeine free. So the marketing, the soda companies were telling me, oh, it's diet, it's caffeine free, it's healthy. No, it's not. That's BS. That's garbage. So,
Chemicals.
yeah. So I said, it needs to go. So I took my last bottle, poured it down the toilet, hit flush, gone. Then the other thing I did was I quit eating beef and pork. I said, if I want to get in shape, I like chicken and turkey. So I said, those are supposed to be better for you. So I'll eat chicken and turkey. I'm not going to eat beef and pork. And the funny thing was, my father was a butcher. And I grew up in a house where we had unlimited free meat every day. And so for me to quit eating beef and pork, that was an accomplishment. But yeah, I know. And I got news for you. Nobody makes better pork ribs than I do. But I haven't had them in 17 years. And I don't miss them. But so I started, and then I started walking every day. And in the beginning, I had trouble walking 2 or 3 blocks. Seriously, I really did. But I kept going, and I got better and better. By my 50th birthday, I had lost 50 pounds. And then I kept going, got better. And then about 4 or 5 years into the process, I went vegetarian. I said, I'm going to stop eating chicken and turkey. I really want to, because I was feeling good. I was feeling strong. So I quit that. Let me ask you a question. You're laughing at me here, and
No,
that's
I'm not
fine.
laughing at you. It's just that if I realize it in my head, it's like for me to stop eating chicken or jerky, it's like I couldn't imagine it.
I know, but can I tell you something? If you'd have told me in the beginning that I was going to do that, I couldn't imagine it either. But you made a comment to me before we started recording. I told you I'm 66, and you told me I don't look it. Well, let me ask you this.
Stand by that.
Okay, I feel that way too. I don't feel like that. But let me ask you this. I've been vegetarian for 12 years. I've been vegan for almost 8. In that 12 years, you know how many times I've been sick? 1 time. That's how strong my immune system has been. And I feel fortunate. And that 1 time when I was sick, it was like 8 years ago. I think it's because my body was throwing off a lot of the toxins. Because when you're as big as I was, all these things that were in your body, all the booze, all the alcohol I drank, all the crappy food I ate, it was all inside my fat cells. And as you're burning off the fat cells in your body, all that stuff is coming out. I mean, I had mornings where I woke up, I had a hangover, even though I hadn't had alcohol in years. But I had a hangover because it was in my fat cells. And as I was getting rid of the fat, it was coming out of my body. So I've been sick 1 time in 8 years, and that includes COVID. My wife caught COVID in the airport, brought it home, and I had 2 days where I was off. I felt like I was about 75%, but I still did my walking. I did all my activities, and my body threw it off. It's all about, see, first of all, you're younger than I am. So I'm going to give you a little perspective here from being older. I don't look at it as giving up beef, pork, chicken, turkey, cheese. I don't look that I gave up those things. I look that I gained my health. I gave up nothing and I gained everything. Plus, I've already eaten my lifetime share of beef, pork, chicken, turkey, cheese. I've already had my lifetime share of all those things and yours. and 20 other people's. All right, and here's something funny. I've learned, would you believe me if I tell you you can taste food without eating it?
I believe you.
Yeah, my wife, okay, somebody gave us, we were walking in the neighborhood. One of my neighbors gave us some key lime pie that they made when we were out walking. My wife ate half a piece. She said it was very sweet. She ate half a piece. I smelled it. That was all I needed. I could identify all the ingredients in it. I knew exactly what it would taste like. I could imagine what it tasted like, and then I was satisfied, and that was it. But I didn't eat it. And and I'm going to tell you something else about diet. Diet is not just the food you put in your mouth. It's the thoughts you put in your head. It's the people you surround yourself with. See, that's why I like talking with you right now, Daniel. You come across to me as a quality person.
Thank you.
You are a person.
Likewise.
You thank you. You are a person worthy of my time to talk to. It is a positive experience for me to associate with you. So that's why I'm glad that I'm doing that. That all those things are important. And I'm going to make this even easier. See, I didn't have to quit drinking alcohol. I didn't have to quit drinking soda pop. I didn't have to go vegan. It was my privilege to do those things. See, when you think you have to do something, it's an obligation and it sucks. When you have to do something, I have to go to the gym today. That sucks. I mean, before you even started, you don't want to go. But if you sit there and say, I'm alive, I'm breathing, I have time, I get to go to the gym today. It is my privilege to go to the gym today. Then it becomes much easier. Does that make sense?
It's how you prepare your brain. And
Yeah.
going back into the knowing how it tastes and everything, for me,
Yeah.
since I am diagnosed with Crohn's disease, I cannot eat red meat and any. That's why I
Okay.
eat turkey, chicken, because
Okay.
those are the things that I'm allowed. So
Smart
those,
man. Go ahead.
yeah. So for me, sometimes I, look at things and I can say, wow, I remember the taste,
Yeah.
but I remember the taste and it goes back and it's in my mouth. It's like, I'm not eating it. Why is it there? And, for example, meat. For me, meat, not being able to eat meat is like a danger to society but I know the benefits are the pros and cons of eating meat. I am a strong advocate for people to eat protein, eat the healthiest
I
way
guarantee you,
possible.
I guarantee you, I get more protein than you do from beans, grains, nuts, seeds. But anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, like for people like me, I'm not able to eat grains. I'm not able to eat vegetables,
Yeah, I
so I have
understand.
to get my proteins from somewhere
Yes, you
else.
do. You do. Correct.
Yeah, so for everybody it's different. So
Yes.
people, if they are vegetarian, there's no issue. You have your ways to get proteins. Like my protein shake is from pea protein,
Pea
right? So
protein. I,
yeah,
I'm I'm a big fan of pea protein. That is very good. That is a plant-based protein source. Very good choice.
yeah, and it tastes amazing. People sometimes like the chocolate and vanilla taste, but those have chemicals, and one of the chemicals
And they have added sugar.
they have
Usually.
added sugar. Not all of them, but some of them do.
Usually.
But one of my friends, who is he studied nutritionist, and he said to me, when you look at the ingredients and they have natural flavors, those are not natural. Those are chemicals. So if it says natural flavors to strawberry, you're not eating strawberries.
No.
You're eating a chemical that tastes like strawberry. So
Yeah.
people have to look at the ingredients. Sometimes this is a book, right? But let's say this is a food product. This is the front. Go to the back. Read what it has, right?
Yes. The label on the back is much more important than the label on the front.
Correct. Like, for example, the bread I eat is made from simple ingredients, like the traditional way of doing bread, right? So I tell people, if you look at the things that are in the ingredients, sometimes things have a list of ingredients like this, and they don't have to, right? There are multiple healthy ways that you can find to do something that you love,
See,
right?
those are processed foods. That's what I mean when I say less processed food. That's the same thing you're talking about. You're right. I agree with you.
Yeah. So like for me, people, there's an argument that say that, you save money when you eat outside. And I'm like, really, if you do the math, you don't.
Oh,
Not
my
financially
food
and
is
not
cheap.
mentally and physically. So I tell people, there's no way that it beats you mathematically. Yeah, you can eat a burger, a fries, and a soda for, I don't know, $10, right? But if you put a chicken breast, a little rice, and a water, that it does not get you to $8.
No,
It doesn't
not
get
at
there.
all. It's cheaper. It's and I make. I mean, the things I make, I make a huge pot of beans. Doesn't cost all that much at all, and not and I make a week's worth. I put a lot of it in the freezer, and I have enough left over that I give it to bunch of it to my neighbor down the street who likes to eat it also, and I give it to her. And when I make a lot of my food, and that costs like nothing.
Yeah, it does. People sometimes they think they're saving, but they're not. If you really look at it, there is no saving. For example, let's say you're doing a party, right? You have people at your house and you all want pizza. Don't start doing pizzas because you're gonna be there for a while, right? So that time, that's a good example of one time that you can say, okay, I'm gonna buy this outside just for the sake of time. Right? It's not
Mhm.
the healthiest thing, right? But it's a party. Let's say you're celebrating your birthday, graduation, anything, right? So that time, I tell people, but don't really say that it's cheaper because it isn't. It requires more work, yes, but you have to find the time because you have to say. And going back to the question
Oh,
you asked,
you get to find the time.
yeah,
You get to find it.
you get to find the time. And where was I going with this?
I interrupted you. You were saying you're talking about how much it's cheaper. You prepare it for yourself. It gets you somewhere, gets you where you want to be. You're eating healthier. I think that's where you were going.
Yes, I was going. And going back to the question that you asked, is this serving me, or am I serving it? Right? So you have to think about that as well as food. If you are, say, eating outside, you or you're not cooking yourself, you have to say, okay, is this worth it? Because I'm putting chemicals and a lot of the bad things into my body, but that are not meant to be there. So you have to ask that question. No, in many cases, in alcohol, drugs, anything, food, you have to ask that question as well. Is it working for you, or is it working against you?
I want to ask anybody who's listening to this right now. I want to give you something to think about. When the food companies out there are running the commercials on TV and they're telling you what to eat and they're telling you what to drink and they're showing you all the pretty pictures, how great life is when you eat their stuff and everything else. Are they asking you for your money? Why are they telling you this? Are they asking you for your money, or are they asking you for it because they care about you and they care about your health and they want you to be healthy? I think it's because they want to make money off of you, and that's the main thing they care about. Now, let me ask you another question, follow up. Has has Daniel asked you for any money in this episode? Have I asked you for any money in this episode? No. And
No.
not only that, I'm going to tell you how you can go to my website and you can download 9 of my books, watch videos on my whole system, all for free. I'm not asking you for your money because I'm in a position in my life where I can do that. And I care about you. Daniel cares about you. I care about your health. Daniel cares about your health. We want to see you have a better life and to enjoy yourself and to be happy. That's the point. These are things you should ask yourself. You know, I mean, we're constantly having things pushed on us. And all these people who want to lose weight, they're telling you, take these drugs. It's so easy and all this. They don't know what those drugs are going to do long term. Or do you want to take those shots for the rest of your life? You know, I haven't done that stuff. If you do what Daniel's telling you, if you do what I'm telling you, you don't have to do any of that. And you're learning healthy habits that you can do for the rest of your life, and you save money and you're a lot happier. Again, on my website, I have a ton of material on healthy nutrition, healthy mindset, healthy weight loss. It's all there. And I'm in the process of making some changes to the website. So there's going to be a few more things on there in the next week or so that are all getting added. But it's because the information's out there. But the problem is we're being sold a bill of goods. We're being manipulated. This is all my opinion here. We're being manipulated by a bunch of companies who just want to make money off of us. Pharmaceutical companies that just want to make money off of us and everything. If people will go back to the 4 things that I talked about, okay, eating less processed food. Daniel was talking about foods with list of ingredients and all this stuff, like long ingredients. So less of that, okay? Quit eating 4 or 5 hours before you go to bed. And Daniel's got a tough one with that one, but quit doing that. Some people will go 4 or 5 hours in the morning without eating breakfast. That can work too. If you want to do that, okay. Walk 20 minutes a day and take 15 minutes a day to meditate, think, quiet time for yourself. If everybody would do those 4 things, do you think we'd be a healthier country?
Not only country, world.
World, yes. We would be a healthier world. But nobody's telling us to do those 4 things. They're telling us to take pills. They're telling us to eat crap, and everything else. But you don't have to listen to it.
May I interrupt you for a second?
Absolutely, you may.
I want to add something. I study business. I am at college studying business. Business, not all, but majority of them, they want your money, right? They all look at the profit margin of their product, right?
Yes.
They don't care about the ingredients they sell to you. And I'm not saying everybody, because there are some companies out there that really do care for you.
Yes.
But people who only see those are limited. So if you find it, be a loyal customer to that company, because not many companies out there go and look at it for you. They look at for themselves. They see the price margin of their product, and that's it. They don't care about what ingredients they put you in your food. So you have to be really careful on what you put yourself into, right? It is easier to cook a pre-made um, Asian white rice, right? And just eat it. But that has a lot of ingredients. And if you did it yourself, it's only one ingredient: rice,
And it's
well,
cheaper.
and water and salt.
It's cheaper too.
And it's cheaper. So you get a lot of the things. And I understand some people go out and full week and full born with the hours that they work. I understand it. My mom works a lot of hours. But you can find those hours. You can find yourself and say, I have to do this for myself. And I tell people, you don't have to actually be in the kitchen. You can, I'm going to say an example. You're throwing chicken in the pot and you let it cook for 3 hours and you shred it, right? That is a week worth of food that you
Yes.
just did in 3 hours.
Yes.
So you're
Absolutely.
saving yourself time. So there is no excuse to say no into changing your life. And eating healthier will transform your life into a much healthier mindset. And having a much healthier mindset will help you live a fulfilled life, feel better about your life, not only in that sense, it's not only eating food right, but it affects everything.
Can
Food, eating food. Yeah, go ahead.
I want to ask you a question.
Hmm.
What do you think are the three most important words in the English language?
Love.
Oh, I used to think it was "I love you." That's what I used to think the three most
Oh,
important words.
a sentence that like "I love you."
Yeah, I love it.
Okay,
I used to say that was the three most important words. I don't say that anymore. You know what I think the three most important words are in the English language?
what are
Are
they?
you willing?
Mm.
Are you willing to do what it takes? See, everything Daniel and I are telling you what to do. And I think you're probably not even arguing with us. You know this is what you should do. But if you're not willing to do it, everything we just told you doesn't mean a damn thing.
It's only information if you don't act on it.
Yeah, it's you have to be willing. But as I said before, you're alive. You get to be willing. It is your privilege to be willing. And I'm going to tell you one other thing. You talked about belief. Well, the experience of what I went through, turning from this to this, and turning into a person who went, I went from walking where I couldn't walk 2, 3 blocks to, how much walking I did last year? This is how much walking I did last year. Imagine I started in Los Angeles. I came within 300 miles of London. I ended up in the middle of the Atlantic, and it's a good thing I can swim because, but that's how much walking I did. And I'm 66 years old and I did that. And you know why I do that? Because I can. See, this experience has taught me two things. It's taught me I'm more powerful than I ever imagined. I never imagined. If you'd asked me 17 years ago, I wouldn't have imagined I could do what I do now. Hell no. But I do it every day and I can do it. And the other thing it taught me? It taught me that if I'm more powerful than I ever imagined, so is everybody else. You hear that if you're listening? I am no more special than you. You are no more special than me. We are all special, each and every one of us. You are more powerful than you ever imagined. Believe it. And
It's
if
just
you
a
learn to,
question.
yeah,
Sorry to interrupt you. Are you willing?
yeah, are you? It's a hell of a question, isn't it?
Yeah, I like those three words. Are you willing?
Yeah, are you willing? Say,
I might put a debate of like I think I love you is more like more important, but that question, are you willing? It makes a lot of sense.
well, let me
And
ask you this, okay?
mhm,
Are you willing to love?
yeah.
There you go. It covers love.
Well, okay. I see it. I see it. I see it.
Are you willing? Are you willing to love? There are a lot of people who aren't. There are a lot of people who have no clue what it is. There are a lot of people who take love but don't give it. And there are a lot of people who give love but don't get it back.
Mm.
You know, it's all those things. It's all about balance. You know, and the type of life Daniel and I are talking about, it's not something you're going to luck into. It's not something that's going to accidentally happen. It's something that you get to intentionally create for yourself. It's all about intentional. What are you going to create? But I just told you, you're more powerful than you ever imagined. So go for it. Create that kind of me. I've created a life. I have 2 full-time businesses. I do a lot of volunteer work and I walk 10 to 15 miles every day. And I have fun while I'm doing most of this.
No, incredible.
You
But
know,
I
it,
want to
it,
thank you, Stanley, for coming onto the podcast. All the things you have said, make sense. And I think it's been a great conversation. I think will change a lot of people's perspectives and lives. So, Stanley, where can people find you?
go to my website, thewayofexcellence.com. The
I will leave
way,
it
put it
down
in
in the
the,
description.
yeah, in the show notes. Thewayofexcellence.com. You go there. 9 of my books are there for free. You, they're the main page you have, it takes you to videos where you can get started. Watch one video a day. They're 8, 9, 10 minutes. Watch one video every day. By the end of a month, you'll have gone through the whole system. You'll have gone through this whole system. You'll know what's going on. And I promise you, you will have done so much thinking about the kind of life you want to create. And not only that, you'll learn how to do it. And then when you do all these things, be sure to go to the bottom of the page. There's a link where you can click to email me. Send me a thank you note. Let me know it helped. That makes me feel good when people say thank you.
Yeah, and please do the same down in the description of the video. So if this video was able to help you, please leave it a thank you. It takes,
Absolutely.
a lot of time and a lot of work to put these videos out there. And a simple thank you goes a long way. And with that, I want to end the episode. So thank you, Stanley, for coming into the podcast, being my guest. Thank you for the people who are listening to this. I hope that this helped you in some kind of way. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share with the people that you love so that we can spread this message and all become better as humans. So, once again, thank you so much. May God bless you all and you
You're
take care.
welcome. Thank you.
I'll thank you.